In the quiet edges of a Hulu village, where the red earth carried the scent of palm wine and old secrets, a boy named Obielu was born. His cry was soft, almost gentle, as though he did not want to disturb the world. But from the moment his eyes opened, the midwife whispered a warning. "This child carries two winds." Nobody understood what she meant, but the fear stayed. Obielu grew into a bright, thoughtful boy, always quiet, always watching. His parents, Nana and Agbo, were not cruel at first. They only struggled with poverty and shame. Agbo believed a first son should be bold like a ram, strong like Iroko, loud like thunder. But Obielu was soft-spoken, peaceful, and strangely wise. Rumors began. Some villagers said they heard him speaking alone, answering questions nobody asked. Others said he sometimes sang in a woman's tone, the voice soft and soothing, like an old mother calling a child home. Most people shrugged it off, until the day something happened that changed everything. One evening, while pounding yam, Obielu spoke behind his mother. "Mama, someone is calling you from your back door." Nana froze. No one had knocked. No one had spoken. But she opened the back door and found a visitor she never expected, her long-lost sister from another town who had walked for hours looking for her. Fear spread fast. Whispers grew. The child hears spirits. The child borrowed someone's voice. The child is half human, half shadow. Agbo could not handle it. Shame pressed him down. His friends mocked him. So one cold morning, without warning, they took Obielu into the forest path leading toward the next town. "Wait here," Agbo ordered. "We will come back." They never did. Obielu waited with the patience of a child who didn't know he had been abandoned. When night fell, the dark forest did not frighten him. He hummed gently, but his voice changed into a soft, mature, feminine tone, a woman's voice. It curled through the forest wind like a mother soothing her child. That was the first time Abeni's spirit appeared. Abeni was a Yoruba wandering spirit, a gentle guardian who protected children with pure hearts. For years she had searched for a soul to rest on, someone she could protect, someone who carried innocence without pride. Obielu was her answer. She did not possess him. She did not harm him. She only shared her voice, her instinct, her wisdom, and sometimes her courage. "Do not fear," she whispered, using his own lips. "You will not be alone." His chest, calm, soothing. Obielu returned to his village after days, but he returned different, older in spirit, stronger in confidence, softer in voice at night. And when people asked him questions, sometimes Abeni answered for him. Children ran. Adults stared. His parents panicked. And one evening, something happened that shook the whole village. When Obielu walked back into Ohulu village, the whole marketplace froze. Children dropped their roasted corn. Women stopped tying their wrappers. The town crier forgot the message on his gong. Everyone had the same question. How did the abandoned child come back alive? But what frightened them more was not his survival. It was his voice. In the daytime, Obielu spoke as a boy, clear, warm, and gentle.
But at night, when the moon rose, a woman's voice rose from his chest, calm, soothing, ancient. It was Abeni's voice, the spirit who walked with him. At first, people thought it was a trick. But when an old blind woman fell near the stream one evening, it was Obielu's night voice that guided her. Move your foot to the left. Step forward gently. The path is clear. The woman burst into tears. Who is helping me? She cried. A friend, Obielu answered, but the voice was a woman's. From that night, the villagers knew the truth. Two spirits lived in one child, but neither was evil. Still, fear is stronger than understanding. Soon, a rumor spread that Obielu had returned with the spirit of an angry goddess. Some whispered that he walked with a Yoruba river angel. Others said he was no longer human. His parents, Nena and Agbo, were the most afraid. Every time the night voice spoke, Nena flinched. Agbo could barely look at him. And yet, something strange kept happening. Whenever Obielu came near his parents' compound, things arranged themselves, gently. The broken fence stood straight. The dying yam leaves perked up. The leaking roof stopped dripping. Abeni's presence was peaceful, not harmful, but nobody understood. One evening, during a village meeting under the big udara tree, the elders decided this child must be taken to the Dibia to know who was walking with him. The Dibia, an old Igbo spiritual priest named Mazi Odika, agreed to receive the boy. When Obielu entered the shrine, the air changed. The cowries flipped. The tortoiseshell shook. The colonet cracked itself. Mazi Odika leaned forward, eyes sharp. You are not alone, child. Speak. Obielu kept quiet, but Abeni did not. In her calm woman voice, she said, This child carries no curse. He carries a borrowed spirit of protection. A mother spirit who died with unfinished kindness. I am Abeni, daughter of Ijebu land. I came because his tears called me. The Dibia bowed his head. A spirit of peace, not war. But the elders did not believe. How can a boy carry a woman's spirit? They asked. This is not our way. Mazi Odika gave a warning. Do not fight the spirit. She came to protect the child. If you reject him again, the land will answer. But fear turned their hearts to stone. That same night, a few villagers gathered behind Obielu's compound, whispering that he must be sent out again. Before they could carry out their plan, something unexpected happened. The night the village test came, a strong wind rose. Not ordinary wind, the type that carries whispers, the type that shakes palm trees without touching their leaves, the type that visits when spirits want to speak. The moon turned pale, the dogs hid, fires dimmed. Then came the sound, not thunder, not rain, but footsteps, slow, heavy, echoing. A tall shadow entered the village square. Not an enemy, not a ghost. It was Abeni herself, taking a faint misty form behind Obielu like a queen walking behind her child. Her voice, soft but commanding, spread over the whole village. Why do you fear what is meant to heal you? The villagers trembled, but she did not raise her hand. She did not shout. She only pointed to Obielu's parents. You abandoned a child who carries light, and you left him in darkness." Nena burst into tears. Ogbo bowed his head. Abeni continued, "I walked with him because your fear almost destroyed him. But this land will need him soon. A trial is coming. A trial only a child with two voices can solve." The villagers looked at one another in confusion. What trial? What danger? Abeni vaded slowly, her mist-like form dissolving into the night air. Only her voice remained. "Protect him. When the shadows come, only he can speak to them." And just like that, the village lights returned to normal. The wind stopped. The night became peaceful again. But nobody slept. Everyone knew that something was coming. Something only Obielu could face.
For days after Abini's warning, Ohulu village remained uneasy. The wind carried strange whispers at night. Goats refused to sleep. The moon seemed dimmer than usual. The elders tried to pretend everything was normal, but the villagers knew something was coming, and it came. On the 7th night after Abini's appearance, a strange silence fell on the village. Even insects refused to make noise. Pots stopped boiling. The stream behind the village froze like someone touched it with cold hands. Mazi Okika, the Dibia, stepped outside his shrine and sighed heavily. They have arrived. A dark cloud shaped like humans, tall, thin, and silent, approached from the far ends of the village. They were Ajo Oro, ancient shadow spirits from forgotten borders between Igbo and Yoruba lands. They did not come to fight. They came because something was missing. The villagers hid inside their homes, trembling. Some peeped through holes, others prayed quietly. Only one person did not fear. Obielu. He stepped into the center of the village, barefoot on the red earth, as if he had waited for this moment. The shadows stopped in front of him. They whispered all at once, sounding like the rustling of dry leaves. Where is the lost voice? The villagers turned to one another in confusion. What voice? Whose voice? But Obielu understood. Abini. She had been one of them once, a spirit of peace among the shadows, before she crossed into the human world to protect a child. Now the shadows had come to take her back, but they did not understand why she was still connected to a human boy. Obielu spoke in his boy voice. "She is here." Then his voice changed gently, smooth, warm, feminine. Abini spoke through him. "I came to heal, not to hide." The shadows trembled lightly as though wind passed through them. "We want you back," they said. "The balance is broken. Return with us." Villagers watched with their hearts pounding. If Abini left Obielu, what would happen to him? What would happen to the village? Abini answered, "I cannot return alone. My bond with the child was made from pain, hope, and fear. To break it, the land must speak." Mazi Odika, the Dibia, stepped outside his shrine and said, "The land will speak through the child. That is the only way." The trial began. The shadows surrounded Obielu. They did not touch him, they waited. Aveni's soft voice whispered inside him, "Do not fear. Let both voices answer." The shadows asked their first question. 1. Why did you accept the spirit of a woman? Obielu answered in his own voice, because I had no one else. Abeni added through him, I came because his heart was clean. The shadows moved in a circle, satisfied. Their second question, what will you do if the spirit leaves you forever? Obielu took a long, deep breath. Everyone held theirs. I will still be me, he said, because she taught me that my voice has strength, even if it shakes. Abani's voice followed, and that is why I chose him. The shadows swirled again, calmer than before. Their third question was the hardest. Will you allow us to carry her home, even if it means losing the power she gave you? Obielu's eyes filled with tears, but his voice remained steady. Yes, he whispered, if that is what gives her peace. The entire village gasped. Even his parents trembled with emotion. The shadows paused for a long time. Then they answered in unison, you have passed the trial. The release of the spirit. Obani's voice, soft like the last wind before sunrise, filled the entire village. Obielu, you survived what many would break under. You taught me that love can be learned even in fear. It is time for me to return, but not completely. A gentle light rose from Obielu's chest, a soft blue glow like cold moon fire. It shaped itself into the faint outline of a beautiful woman wrapped in Yoruba beads. Abeni floated toward the shadows, who bowed in respect. Before she joined them, she turned back and said, although I return to my people, a part of my voice will remain in him, the part that protects, not the part that speaks. A warm breeze passed through Obielu and the glow faded. The shadows dissolved into the night and vanished without a trace. After the trial, the village returned to life. The stream flowed again. Animals came out of hiding. Children started running around with fresh excitement. Obielu's parents, Nena and Agbo, rushed to him and embraced him tightly. Agbo, who had once abandoned his own son, felt his voice break. Forgive us, we were blinded by fear. Obielu simply nodded. Abani had taught him something deeper than anger. The villagers came forward one by one, placing gifts at his feet, yam, cola, palm kernels, beads, not as payment, but as acceptance. From that day, Obielu was no longer the strange boy. He became Obielu the wise, Obielu the one voice, two wisdoms, Obielu the peacemaker between worlds. He grew into a calm, respected young man, one who understood both humans and spirits, both Igbo and Yoruba winds. And that night, when the moon rose, the village sometimes heard a soft hum in the wind. Not a woman's voice, not a child's voice, but something beautifully in between, the voice of a boy who once borrowed a spirit to survive. The voice of the lady in the shadow.
I kindly plead with our first-time viewers to kindly subscribe to our channel. And to our dearest subscribers, thank you for joining us again. Please help to like, drop a comment, and click on the notification bell to always get our new videos. Thank you.